Peace. How's it going, Patrick? Conservative Rap. And in this episode, we're going to get into the socio-political. We need people to understand the dynamics of what Trump is doing. And oftentimes, they don't, I think, gel well with the standard optics of how right-minded conservatives are conditioned, let's say, to think. So let's get into details here. You'll see a few examples of what I mean. First up, this is from California to show you where things are headed. Dapper Detective on X put this out. Let's take a quick listen. California Sheriff Jim Cooper sounding the alarm on Gavin Newsom's mental health diversion law, letting violent offenders from child abusers and armed robbers dodge prison time, even in cases where babies were tortured or killed have qualified for a diversion. You're going to see something similar in New York. We have Imam Donnie talking about closing Rikers Island, actually, during his campaign. Why there's a Miss Pac-Man arcade in his office, I have no idea, but take a
To
listen.
get diversion, you can do anxiety, depression, caffeine addiction, caffeine withdrawal, marijuana addiction, marijuana withdrawal, alcohol, same thing. It's crazy. Anyone pretty much can find a condition that will suffice to get you diversion. And I know you have photos of the baby. Father got blackout drunk, drank a pint of vodka and some beers, and basically beat his 1-year-old to death. My deputies investigated that case. Horrific, horrific. And he got diversion. And here's where it rubs me the wrong way. When he got diversion, it erased his record. So think about this. His entire record is erased. That arrest, those charges, everything. And here in California, we do background checks. For schools do for everybody. You get fingerprinted on those background checks. So right now, when this person gets fingerprinted, the arrest record's not there. He can be a teacher. He can be a coach. He could be a Boy Scout, troop leader, all those things because the record is not there. And that's scary. And I'm going to say, if you beat your kid to death, you should not be around kids. I don't want you around my kid. And that's what troubles me. And even a bigger issue, you could be diagnosed after the fact. So you think if someone got diagnosed with a condition, it would be beforehand, but they're being diagnosed after the fact. And I think when someone's accused of something horrific, I would expect that the diagnosis would come from a psychiatrist who's a medical doctor, okay? Not a psychologist, even a licensed marriage family therapist can diagnose you after the fact. I'm not sure the rest of the country, but in California, if you want to volunteer and be a coach or work in schools, you do a fingerprint background check and we make sure you're clear. Now, this individual is clear. We had a bank robber recently in a neighboring jurisdiction, convicted of bank robbery. He got mental health diversion. We have a new case of bank robbery for him here in Sacramento. Somebody burglarized somebody's house, took tens of thousands of dollars in jewelry and got mental health diversion. So it's really being abused by these criminals. They talk about it in our jails. The phone calls are recorded. They know it. We've got them on record talking about mental health diversion, how to exploit it, and really get out of their cases.
All right. So again, this is in California. If we call them Democrats, but we know it doesn't consist of the moderates. If they have their way, this is the reality that we're going to be walking into. They know what they're doing. And if you need any further convincing that the battle is between good and evil, between the children of God and the children of these demons, I don't know what to tell you. Let's keep moving. I'm going to share on this tab. Secretary Noem says 150 child predators will be removed during Operation Dirtbag. This operation was called Operation Criminal Return. I call it Operation Dirtbag because these individuals were sex offenders. Not just sex offenders, they targeted children, committed sexual assault, battery, and attempted homicide. These 150 individuals will be gone. And this goes out to those who are caught in the Epstein saga, not able to penetrate between the truth of what a grand jury will put out and the fake news that these major headliner Democrats are trying to get out about Trump, which is really just Russiagate 2.0. Let's take a quick listen and remember the reality we're walking into when people think Trump and the Patriots are not doing enough. Put it all in context. Let's take a quick listen.
Amazing. This operation was called Operation Criminal Return. I call it Operation Dirtbag because these individuals were sex offenders, but not just sex offenders. They targeted children. So sexual assault, battery, attempted homicide. These 150 individuals will be gone off of our streets. Our kids will be safer. And this partnership with Governor DeSantis in Florida is a model that we want to replicate across the country. These individuals should have never been in our country to begin with. The fact that they were sexual deviants and perverts, and now we've gotten them off of our streets, it's remarkable, and we need to do more of it. Really amazing.
All right, so there's a quick narrative frame, let's say, if you need any further convincing about the battle being waged. Now let's go over to Unusual Whales on X. He points out something also startling when it comes to the difference between Democrats and conservatives. And this isn't to box anyone in or typecast. You have evil on all sides of the equation, but let's take a quick look. Birth rates are falling more steeply among progressives than conservatives, per FT. Average number of children born to people with different political ideologies. All right, conservative, progressive, developed world average. Birth rates calculated for all adults aged 35 and over. U.S. General Social Survey and World's Value Surveys based on prior work. Fiedler and all, 2012. What more needs to be said? Goes to show you the difference in the value system. But let's take a quick look. I also wanted to include this, just a little bit more on the immigration front. Of course, naturally, there's a difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. And I agree with Trump here. It's just, let's take a listen first, and I'll come back to comment after.
Be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it?
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people
here.
here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here.
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. So say what you will, I agree with Trump. There's a difference between legal and illegal immigration. And the problem with our education system is we've been dumbing down the population for several generations, for several decades. You got people coming out of school with social studies degrees, with, all sorts of commie propaganda brainwashed into them. That's not the talent that's going to be able to assist with the new infrastructure of manufacturing that's coming rapidly into America. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.